I believe that we all have our own journey and our own calling. And so for me, my journey called me here. It was something that I wrestled with for a little bit, though. I did. Because I'm like, well, dang, how do I continue to work in the US and still be about Pan-Africanism? So I realized, well, two things could be true. You can be a Black nationalist, which only exists in the US, and you can be a Pan-African. And so for me, that connective tissue just made sense for me to be here. And so, yeah, the short answer is yes, I definitely believe I was called to be here. Hello, welcome to my home here in Nairobi, Kenya. My name is Kia Weso Simmons. Come on in. All right, so as I said before, we're here in my home in Nairobi, Kenya. I actually have a duplex, which we usually call in the States a townhome. And this was something that I really wanted. So come on in, let me show you around. I wanted an open floor plan, similar to the house that I own in the States. And this gave me just that. My team did an amazing job. I must say that I did not do this on my own. I literally used my own relocation program. So when they brought me here, you know, the importance of having a townhouse and having that home feeling was exactly what I was looking for. So as you can see, this is an open floor plan. You have the pantry area, which I made the pantry area here, right in the kitchen. And then, which is unique, washer and dryer here in the kitchen. I bought my refrigerator here. Everything that you see here, I actually bought. I sold all of my furniture, all of my appliances, and I just rebought them here in Kenya. One of the other things I love about this apartment is the lighting. The lighting is so beautiful here in the kitchen. You have your hood. I have a 4-eye stove, but the unique part about this stove is it's electric and gas. I don't know if you all have ever seen that, but this is electric and gas. I have a full-on oven that is a gas oven. I believe it's gas oven. And tons of space, tons of storage space for anything that you need to store in the kitchen. Cabinet space. It's not too tall, so I can reach all of my, you know, plates and cups. So the open floor floor plan is important because while I'm cooking and entertaining here, I can have some guests sitting here at the counter, and it's literally like my house in the States. I would be in the kitchen and I had a flush counter just like this, granite top, and stools where my guests can sit and talk to me while I'm cooking, and or you can sit here in my little dinette area. I do want to say everything in here is custom made. Furniture through my company as well. My business partner, I showed him, you know, certain ideas on Pinterest, and he showed me some ideas because he's a interior designer. And we were able to come up with a concept. So yeah, the furniture is custom made here in Nairobi, Kenya. And here's my living room area. I'm still furnishing my place, although I've been here almost a year now. I've been doing piece by piece, but the living room, the couches, I wanted to go with kind of that, that soft, you know, look. And so the off-white couches was something that I wanted to do with that, with a little bit of the earth tone in here, and just sheer curtains. I think when you put the other curtains, it make the space look smaller. And so I just went with the sheer curtains. Here is my bar that I actually do use. I do have a drink or two. This is custom made. I was able to buy some of the stuff that you kind of adore from home, and these items is from my house in the States. This item, my aunt bought this, but the bar is actually a wine cellar as well. I have my wine glasses here, and then the wine bottles go here at the bottom. I loved it. I saw it on Pinterest, and they were able to make it exactly as you see it on Pinterest. So as we go over here, the door is open. I have a full balcony outside, and it's so beautiful. It's winter here in Kenya, so it is a little chilly, guys. As you can see, I have the portable heater here. But here is my balcony. My house lady came and washed some clothes, so she just washed my stuff here. But this is my balcony. Come sit out here. It's beautiful. This is custom made where you could sit down. I hope I don't fall. And just relax and just look at nature. It's so quiet out here. This particular unit that I'm in, it only has 18 units in this building. So it's very quiet. Let's be quiet if you can hear. All you hear is nature. But yes, this is my balcony. Let's finish the tour.
Hey Web Nation family, quick question for you. If you're watching this, chances are you've been thinking about what it could take to actually relocate to Africa. Maybe to South Africa, Ghana, Kenya, or beyond. If this is you, I want to personally invite you to join the Web Nation waitlist. This is your early access to our relocation step-by-step course and even our guided tours across Africa. By joining, you'll be the first to know when new guides drop for your country of choice, and you will unlock early bird discount plus exclusive bonuses. And when we launch our tours to South Africa and Zanzibar, waitlist members get first dips before seats sells out. If you are serious about relocating, starting a business, or just experiencing Africa in a whole new way, scan the QR code on your screen if you are watching on TV, or click the link below to join the Web Nation waitlist today. Now I can't wait to see you inside. Let's get back into the video.
This unit is a townhome, as I said before, and it does come with two baths and a half. So this is the half a bath, our guest bathroom, or my guest bathroom here. Very simple. And I have storage space. One of my sisters, my Jamaican sister, who had to go to the States, she stored some of her stuff here. So you can see her suitcases. But then these are some of the tough boxes that I brought some of my, items from home that I didn't want to get rid of. A lot of the items that my grandma and my great-grandma bought me. So I brought them in tough boxes. I flew over here with them. This is my storage. So I think we're going to be going upstairs next. This is a 2-bedroom townhome. The square footage, I'm going to close the door here. The square footage on this townhome is 1,600 square feet. So it's quite spacious, and that's what I really wanted. In the event that I had guests here, my family, my son come and visit me, I got space. So here we go. Again, I love the lighting for this particular unit. It just gives you that sleek luxury vibe without having to pay the luxury prices. So we're going to go to the guest bedroom. I actually have guests here from Mombasa, my family who brought me here to Kenya 14 years ago. They're here visiting because their daughter is going to university, and I've been knowing her since she was 8, and now she's 19. So here's my guest bed. Still sorting it out in terms of decoration, but I did have the bed custom made. It's quite spacious in here. It does come with a smoker's balcony, actually. And, well, they call it a smoker's balcony. Oh, it's locked. Let's see if we can unlock this. Is it going to cooperate with me today? Hold on. There we go. And they get to kind of have sort of the same experience as downstairs if you just want to hang out and, you know, listen to nature. If you don't smoke, it's still kind of cool to kind of get this view here. I, again, love the lighting and how they did the setup with it. Now, I am American, so I did put a TV in every room. But here in Kenya, you typically don't see TVs in the room. So I mounted a TV here, and then I mounted this little entertainment center here to the wall, so we have somewhere for the remote control. So I did some custom things here, and I'm still building it up. So then you have a bathroom, an en-suite. They call this en-suite here, and in the U.S., where you have a full bath and shower. As I said before, I have guests here, but you can take a look at that. So this room also comes with a lot of storage space. And that's another thing I love about my house is it just has tons. I'm talking about tons of storage space, you know, where I got some of my clothes over here. Now, I don't sleep in here, but I got clothes over here as well. But it gives you just that feeling that, you know, if you do have people that want to visit, you have space. So let's go to my room. Again, more space, more closet space, storage space for your towels and things of that nature. So I love that. I still have to do lighting here. But yeah, welcome to my room. So I chose this room because this room was closer to the inside and not the stairs. Again, when you have guests here, you don't want them walking past your room to get to their room. So I chose this room for my understanding that was like the master guest, the master room because of the balcony. But anyway, here goes my room. I have my little vanity, custom-made vanity spot, you know, just to put on my makeup and my jewelry and everything in here. As you can see, again, y'all, lots of storage space, tons of space, just tons of space. My hot water heater is in here. I have my bed custom made as well. Again, I'm still decorating the room. I have to do some lighting here, maybe some pictures here. And then I have my own bathroom as well. Full bathroom, shower. Yeah, take a look at it. And it's very modern. That's another thing I love about this apartment. Again, for an incredible price. As you can see, I have my TV mounted here again with my little entertainment center here. Very, I don't like a lot of clutter. So you're not going to come to my house and see a whole bunch of stuff in the room. I like it just like this. The only thing I probably will add is some paints, some paintings here, lighting here, lighting cover there, and we are done. So we'll go back downstairs, but I hope y'all liked the tour thus far. Yeah, so the cost of living here, it varies. You know, Nairobi is one of the fastest growing African cities on the continent, and it is one of the most expensive cities on the continent, depending on your taste. So for me, I like to live comfortable. And I want to live in a way that remind me of living in the States, just to be quite honest, in terms of my accommodations. And so where I live at right now, I live close to the president. So this area is a pretty upscale area, posh area, where, you know, you'll spend a minimum of maybe no less than $900 in this area. Probably $1,000 is probably the minimum, and your high side can go up to $3,000. But for me right now, I pay $1,000. To me, that's comfortable enough. I get all of the amenities that I want, and I get the peace and quiet. There's not a lot of construction over here. Now, I live in Kilimani, which a lot of the expats move to Kilimani, but then they have to deal with the construction, all of the new buildings that's coming up, all of the noise throughout the day. And because we're a virtual company, sometimes I do work from home. You want peace and quiet. So for me, I'm willing to pay a little bit more for things that I require to live here comfortably. On average, most of our clients, when we do get them in personal housing or permanent housing, excuse me, the rent can range. If this is a 2-bedroom, from 2 to 3 bedroom, it can range between no lower than, and that's just a stretch because it depends on where you at and what you're looking for, because we can put you in a unit that has 200 units. There's a bunch of in and out, in and out, in and out, and you may get it for $800, right? But if you have a family and you really don't want that in and out, like where I live at, there's only 18 units here. Again, you can pay onward from $1,000 to whatever fits your needs. My light bill is only $40, and that's on the high side. My water bill is $6. So even though I'm paying $1,000 in rent, I'm not paying over $1,100 in everything that I'm using in terms of utilities and everything. My internet is $40. My cell phone is $20. So I still haven't went over $100 in utilities and other bills. So yeah, that's quite reasonable, even if you're paying $1,000 in rent. Yeah, so transportation, I own my own car here, so I purchased a car. I do have we do have a company vehicle as well, but that's company. But me personally, I purchased a vehicle. I have a 2019 Honda Vezel, which is one of the newer models here because they import cars here from Japan. And it ran me about $20,000 USD. Here they don't do any credit check. There's no such thing as credit. So you pay up front. And so I had to put 50% down on the vehicle, and then I had 24 months. I have 24 months to pay the vehicle off. So my monthly payment is about $600, which is a little high compared to the States. But in the States, you're putting all of this on your credit and you're financing it through a company and all of that. Whereby here, I'm just making payments. It's not going on my credit. When I pay, it's mine. We're done. So my cost of living is about $1,600, around $1,700. My journey started here in Kenya about 14 years ago. I landed at Moi Airport and fell in love with the country and its people. And so from that moment, I had decided that at some point, I will be moving to Kenya. I didn't know it was going to take almost, 13 years to permanently move, but it did. And I also had a small child at that time, so I had to just make some decisions. But my biggest reason on why I moved to Kenya was a strategic business move. I started my company in 2018, my first company, Worldviews, and then rebranded to Traverse Culture. And at some point, it was like, how do I tell the story about relocating to Kenya or traveling to Kenya, investing, whatever it is, without actually living here? So after running the company from the U.S., coming back and forth, staying here 6 months at a time, 4 months, a couple weeks here, I made the decision that I need to move over here permanently so that I'm able to run the company efficiently and tell the story from my lens. So that's kind of the biggest reason why I moved here. It was a business strategic move, and I love this country. I knew it was going to give me peace. It was going to give me all of the things that I wasn't able to get in the U.S. While the U.S. will always be home, you can have multiple homes around the world, and Kenya was just one of those places that became home. Yeah, so I don't necessarily say I was running from anything. I feel like if you're running away from America with that type of mindset, you're going to find the same thing here, no matter where you are. I usually tell most of our clients who are looking to relocate here, if you are running away from America again, with that type of mindset, it will follow you here. And so I won't say I was necessarily running away from America, but what I wanted to do was to change my environment, change the direction of my legacy, if you will, and add value to it. I would never discredit my culture, the work, and the sweat, tears, all of those things that our ancestors have endured in North America. I'll never take that away. And so I always say that you can be two things, and two things can exist. You can still be proud of your culture without discrediting anything about it, and still participate in a new way of living and changing the direction of that legacy. So for me, it wasn't about running away, but changing my legacy and adding value to whatever my ancestors have already done. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, and I wanted to be able to honor them in that way as well. The pros of living in Kenya is your peace. First and foremost, your peace of mind. I had severe anxiety living in the States as an entrepreneur. You're being a business person, an entrepreneur, anxiety. Then there's the anxiety of just everything around you happening. And one of the biggest things that you can appreciate being here is safety. You don't have to worry about me walking down the street and possibly getting unalived in broad daylight and that just be a normal day, right? Here, there's a sense of safety that, again, I believe you can't buy. Another thing, cost of living. Just even where I live right now, if we were in one of your major cities in the U.S., because you have to compare Nairobi to a major city in the U.S., this would easily go for $3,000 to $5,000 a month, easy. And I pay $1,000 here in Kenya. Let's talk about quality of life. Again, the air is cleaner, the food is better, the people are nicer. You have a sense of freedom that you just will not have in the States. I don't have to deal with racism. I don't have to deal with biases. I blend in as if I'm a Kenyan. And so those are some of the pros of living in Kenya versus the U.S. And so the contrary to what I just said would be racism, biases, safety. The quality of life is declining in the U.S. Healthcare sucks. Politics is horrible. Like, it's just so much things going on in the U.S. that is just absolutely asinine, and you do not have to deal with that with being over here. So I can appreciate, living here and understanding that this is a luxury. It's a luxury, for sure. Yeah, so I've also been to 9 other African countries. And out of all of them, Kenya feels like home. And it's the people. Not even gonna lie. Kenyans are some of the most hospitable people you ever meet in your life. Welcoming. They don't feel threatened by foreigners. That's another thing. They're very welcoming. So, their signature saying as you come through JKI is Karibu Kenya, Karibuni Kenya. And that welcoming spirit makes a huge difference when you're looking for somewhere to call home. So my simple answer is the people.
My name is James Kelvin Mlawasi, born and raised from Mombasa, Kenya. They call me the Black Mamba, my nickname. While we met at some dining facility, I believe, I was going out there with my colleagues in our department and she was in another department. So she was trying to get a transfer from her department to our department. It was kind of a promotion, or say a better job, so to speak. So the lady that was with her apparently was in my department, and was like, if you want to, get a promotion or try to get to that department, you can as well talk to him. I was mingling with so many people, being Kenyan over there. I was privileged to be the supervisor of the flat line at that time. So yeah, we met. She came to our department the following day. I introduced her to my supervisor, and before we know it, 24 hours later, she joined our department. And yeah, we just kept on talking, you know, showing her around, showing the job, and meeting and talking over dinner and stuff like that. Because, you know, Afghan, there's nothing much you do after work. It's just bonding time. So I believe that also contributed, because all we had to do was just talk about our families when you're there. And for some reasons, we just connected from day one, to be honest. I guess she was the sister I never had. I was the brother she never had. We talked a lot, like so many long hours talking about myself, my family, my little daughter. Then when my wife had our second one, she actually made a decision to come down while I was going to see my second-born daughter, who had just been born, but I was not there to see her. So it's like when, I think she was 3 months when we went, and we were with her, and she decided to just come down that time. And ever since, it's been just an honest journey of two people, I would say, born from different mothers, but from, I guess, from different wombs, but from the same mother, who is now Africa, or motherland, so to speak.
The feeling of belonging, that's what triggered it. It's something you cannot buy. It's something that you cannot explain. You just belong. You just blend in. You know, no one asks you where you're from. They assume you're already Kenyan. They'll literally walk up to you and start speaking Swahili. And even when you tell them, I am not Kenyan, they're like, oh, okay, so you're part of the diaspora. And not the diaspora that you think they're talking about, meaning the Kenyan diaspora. And I'm like, yep, nope. I'm like 14 generations African American. And I just happened to fall in love with it, which is funny, though, because I couldn't understand why I fell in love with Kenya. I'm going to keep it a buck. Kenya probably is your least Pan-African country, if we're talking about Pan-Africanism, although they have the RBG colors in their flags. And so the first president of Kenya was a follower of Marcus Garvey and some of the Pan-African movement, Jomo Kenyatta. However, over the course of now the 61 years, we've kind of seen it watered down, just to keep it 100. But it's something about the people that draws you to this country and make you feel like I don't see myself anywhere else in the world but Kenya. Out of 46 countries, this is the only place where I feel like I belong. And that's the trigger. Because I was running this company prior to me moving here, it was a strategic business move, so I moved and jumped right into business. So when I wake up, I probably take a few minutes to just think, meditate for a little bit, and then you know what it is. It's straight to the phone, checking messages, WhatsApp. Listen, I need shares in WhatsApp because I literally live on WhatsApp. And then look at my calendar for that day. Typically, I have a bunch of meetings, networking, because I'm the CEO and founder of Traverse Culture. A lot of people have been interested in interviewing me, so I do a lot of interviews. So PR, press, and then just preparing for the initiative at the end of this year, which is the Journey Back to Eden initiative, which is our version of the year return here in Kenya. So preparing for that, meeting with vendors, talking to sponsors, all of those great things. And then, because I have a full-on team here, I typically don't do the day-to-day operations, meaning be out in the field with the clients who we've been relocating or assisting with our investigative tours to Kenya, but I like to pull up on them. You know, if they're out with the client and they're showing them real estate for the day, I'll pull up on the client and my team just to check in, see how they're doing, and see how our clients are doing in country. So that's typically what the day-to-day look like for me. So the business always have been the hub being abroad, and clients being from the U.S. using the services to come to a certain location like Senegal. We did business in Senegal for some time. We did business in Jamaica, did business here in Kenya, a little bit of South Africa, was going into Liberia. And so it's almost the same because the hub has always been here. So I think one of my best years, I made over $250,000 in sales, if you will. Because I just rebranded from Worldviews to Traverse Culture. We've been in business 2 years technically under the new brand. I think maybe between this year we'll make over $250,000 in sales, and we're still a startup. And then I pay myself, but I really don't pay myself much because, again, we're still a startup. And so I have residual income from some other investments that I live off as well. And I'm a veteran, so I get disability being a vet, so I get a check for the rest of my life for that. And so I pay myself minimum from my stateside company and my local company that may vary from $25,000 to $3,000 a month, which that's all you need to live here. In fact, that's more than enough if you're making between $25,000 to $3,000 here, and your rent is about $1,000, and everything total around $1,700. You still got what? Around $1,500 to work with if you wanted to do anything else, like have entertainment and move around. It's quite affordable in terms of food, like going out to eat. And if you want to travel within the continent, that's where it becomes a bit expensive because the flights, if you want to fly. But if you want to do it the regular way, like the locals, you can jump on the coaches, and it's very inexpensive, but they ain't, I don't travel like that. So yeah, I would say that's what we're looking at. Yes, did I take a pay cut by moving to Kenya? No, it actually increased by me moving. We saw an influx in sales, influx in social media. We went from, I think we had 5K on IG. We're at almost 30K on IG. We started at 457 subscribers on YouTube. And we're at almost 12K on YouTube, same thing on TikTok. And again, increase in sales because we were able to really showcase through my journey of moving here. Even though I'm the business owner, I was able to showcase my journey, and that created that relatability and connection to our potential clients. The weather, I knew about it, but like, I'm thinking I'm just gonna be super hot and I'm gonna need an AC and all this other stuff. And child, this weather is so mild. You don't need an AC, you just need a fan. And then sometimes it gets chilly enough to have a freaking heater, which I'm teasing Kenyans all the time about. It's not that cold, it's not that cold. And then I broke down just yesterday and bought a freaking heater. Downstairs gets really chilly. It actually does. And then the temperature last night got down to about 55 degrees, which is, quite chilly, not freezing. Kenyans will act like it's freezing, but cold enough. If it this place seems like it hold in the cold, you need a little heater. So I was kind of surprised that I broke down and bought me a heater. Now, what's funny about that is that I had been coming to the country all these years. I didn't even know expats here existed. I just now started tapping into the diaspora maybe the last year or two. And really this year, tapping into the diaspora. I would say it's probably between 300 to 500 of us now. And that may be a stretch here in Nairobi. And so I've connected some of the expats, which we'll see today, some of the diasporans, and yeah, build those relationships, connect, and we share resources. And so, yeah, it's been pleasant to be able to see other expats and see some of the great work that they're also doing.
I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I relocated to Kenya January 22nd, and I love it. Been here ever since. 3.5 more years for citizenship, and welcome to my store. My first stop was Tanzania, September 2021. My goal was to turn 45 in Africa. So I landed in Tanzania, September 22nd, 2021, and I turned 45 September 24th, 2021. Tanzania was my first spot. I love Tanzania, it was nice. The food is amazing there, but the language barrier was a hassle for me. And after speaking with locals, they told me Nairobi, Kenya was best for me. And I came here and feet touched the ground, and I took off ever since. I got driver's license. I got my Kenya Alien ID, and I got my businesses, which I also have Proud Skin, which is a men's grooming line I just launched, teaching the men about proper care of skin and hygiene, and building my life here.
So we're here at Cool Runnings Social House. It is a authentic Jamaican-owned restaurant and club here in Nairobi, Kenya. And I wanted to kind of show you all another diasporan that's doing business here and establish herself. So come on. Hello.
How are you?
Hi.
You're good?
Thank you. Y'all, this is David, authentic Jamaican.
Welcome.
We have our Jamaican family. He is from Jamaica. And then he's Jamaican. He's Indian. Oh, Coolie. That's why it's called Cool Breeze.
So Cool Runnings is a Jamaican lounge, the first Jamaican, full Jamaican lounge in Kenya. 100% Jamaican reggae, Caribbean music. We have a wide variety of Caribbean, Jamaican cuisine. And they just come here, build a vibes, grab a juice, and feel the vibes, build a vibes.
Good peoples, man, good peoples. What we eating today, David?
Upscale and Korean
What
food.
are we eating, my brother? Is Kenya affordable for Americans who are looking to move here compared to the U.S. and making USD? Absolutely. That's a no-brainer. The Kenya shilling right now is 129 or between 127 and 129 to the dollar. So that's a pretty nice stretch there where you can get your money's worth if you're still making money in U.S. Like myself, we're registered in the U.S. as Traverse Culture, but we're also registered locally as Traverse Culture Africa, which they work together like a subsidiary, but the mother company is in the U.S. So all of our clients come from the U.S. and we make majority of our money in USD. So it definitely will stretch a long way for sure. Absolutely, 100%. I've never, out of the 14 years that I've been coming and living in the country temporarily, then now permanently, I've never been robbed. I've never been raped. I've never had my phone snatched. I've never, never. And I've been in some of the roughest areas in Kenya by myself. Till this day, I go to Kibera, which a lot of people think Kibra is just this super dangerous place. I go by myself. My hairstylist is from Kibera. We are partnered with some of the businesses out of Kibra, like the driver school for our relocation program. I took some of the guests the other day to just ride around Kibera, and it's safe. I mean, I walk around, I go live. Nobody's snatching my phone. I got my nice watch on. No one bothers me. So do I feel safe? Absolutely, 100% sure. Compared to the U.S., forget about it. This is heaven. What are the immigration options for people who want to live here long term? Let me start by saying we do offer a 120-day relocation integration program, but we will disqualify you if you do not qualify for any of the permits. This is where you're starting to see a bunch of people complain because they jumping off the porch and they don't qualify. They don't qualify. So they just move here, they'll get the tourist visa, and they realize that, oh, I need to get a permanent residency, but you never qualified for it. So actually, you set yourself up for failure because you never qualified for it. So there's three that we commonly work with because we do immigration in-house for our clients. The first one is now the digital nomad permit. This is where you can move to Kenya if you are working for a business outside of Kenya, remotely, and or your own LLC or sole proprietor. You can do that. Then the second one is your ordinary residential permit, which is the Class K. This is for individuals that have residual income that's not tied to a W-2. It's not a retirement visa. Retirees can use it. But you have to be at least 35 years old to use it. So you have people who are 35, 36 using this ordinary K visa, and because they may have a trust fund or other things coming in, not tied to a W-2, they can use the Class K. Then lastly, you have your investor's permit, which is the Class G, I believe. And this for those who are serious about doing business here, where you invest 100K into a local company and bank account here. And along with the fees, it range around 10,000 to 12,000 for the fees for the permit, the insurance, the bond, and then of course that 100K USD investment in the local company here, where you can get a work permit and your investor's certificate. What do I wish I knew before moving to Kenya myself? That's a hard question because I'm in the relocation industry. So there wasn't a lot for me to say, I wish I knew, because I do it as a business. I do it as a way of life. So for me, really easy transition because I literally used my own services. I did nothing on my own. Absolutely nothing on my own. I didn't find my place on my own. I didn't buy my car on my own. I didn't get health insurance on my own. I did nothing on my own. I used my company to relocate here to Kenya. So for me, it was a smooth transition, not much that I needed to know. And I've been coming to the country for 14 years. So for me, it's been a smooth transition. It's been a journey. So I've been learning so much over the 14-year period. While doing business, out of the 14 years I've been doing business here, 7.5 years and bringing African Americans here, which we brought over 300 African Americans through travel and relocation within a short period of time. So for me, smooth transition because I do it as a, I do it for, it's my livelihood. So yeah. Where do I see myself in the next 5 years? Ooh, that's a good one. There's so many things that I want to do, that I want to achieve. But in the next 5 years, I definitely want to see traverse culture in 5 other countries. Our goal is to be in 63 countries around the world offering these services and not limited to the continent because we're global people and the continent may not be the option for you. You may want to live in Romania. You may want to live in South America. You may want to live in Asia. We want to be able to navigate that for you as an African who have African presence globally around the world. So I want to be in at least 5 countries in the next 5 years on my way to the goal of 63 countries in the world. Then I want to be able to implement Afrocentric regenerative travel in all of those countries through policy reform and tourism, meaning telling the story about African people or marginalized cultures through policy reform where they're showcased and not hidden. That's another thing that I want to do. And then I also want to take the initiative, the Journey Back to Eden, and spread it throughout the EAC, the East African Community, where you'll have options to participate in this, initiative, the Journey Back to Eden, and all 8 of the East African communities. First, find what motivates you to want to move first. Motivation is key because we need to know if you are running away, because that's not a good look, or you're just trying to find alternative ways of living, right? And then once you identify that, then you need to sit down and be honest with yourself and ask, can I sustain myself if I do relocate? Because relocation is a luxury, even to the continent. And while most think that they can move to the continent with like $10,000 and make it, that is like far from the truth. It can be quite expensive because you have to consider the upfront investment to relocate, right? And that can vary from $15,000 to $30,000 that you may need to move upfront, right? And so now we need to look at sustainability. Can you afford it? Can you actually afford it? And then the last thing is use your resources. Use your resources. Trying to relocate on your own can be expensive. Being cheap is expensive because there's liability around that, right? And so use your resources, even if you don't use our services, if you know other companies that offer relocation services in whatever country you're looking to move to in Africa or anywhere else in the world, use the resources because this cuts your time. It's convenient. It gives you access that you wouldn't necessarily have up front. And it's cost effective. Yeah, that would be my advice. So I'll say my 21-year-old self. I'm 42. I'll be 43 this month. So for 21-year-old Kia, I would say believe in yourself no matter what. Like let's get our head together and know that you're worth everything that you will see in the future. You're worth it. I would also say lean on any intentions you know to be true for yourself. And then lastly, you are pretty. You are smart. And so you'll be able to see that in the future, but I want you to be able to see it now. I want you to be able to take advantage of that now. I know that you all are probably eager to move and relocate, especially from the U.S. because it's a shit show. My advice is to take your time. Don't make emotional decisions because then you cause more problems for yourself. Research, research, research. Do your due diligence. Then go with your gut and your heart. Again, research, research, due diligence, then go with you should go with your head, your gut, and your heart with the move that you want to make.